Steve and Owen alongside me. This is where we normally start the argument about who's got the toughest group, but I think Glenn, there's only one winner this time from the English sides.
Yeah, I think United have got the toughest one, for sure. Yeah, that looks as some tasty games there. Chelsea would be happy, I think. Going into the little bit the unknown, I don't think they've played any of that opposition, but that's still going to be tough, but Chelsea will be delighted with that draw.
So it's PSG, Leipzig and a trip to Turkey, Istanbul, Başakşehir for Manchester United. They obviously haven't had the reinforcements that the fans wanted in this transfer window yet. What do you think their chances are in that group?
It'll be difficult, of course it will be. If they don't bring any new players in the next couple of days, I think it will be difficult from what we've seen already this year by Manchester United. They've been to PSG before, of course, famously a couple of years ago when effectively Ole Gunnar Solskjaer secured his job, really, didn't he, with that victory. Leipzig are in good form, even though they've had to sell a few players this summer. There's still a really difficult game, getting to the semi-final of Champions League. And as you said, Başakşehir going to Istanbul is always hard in itself, albeit, there'll be no fans at this moment in time. It'll make that journey a little bit easier, but it's always a very difficult place to go because we know the fans, even outside of the stadium, at the airport, outside the hotels, they make it as difficult as possible for the opposition. Yeah,
as Steve said, though, Owen, happy memories from playing PSG the last time they were in the group stage. That will give them a bit of hope, do you think?
Yeah, I think they're quietly confident. Obviously, PSG are the strongest team in the group, but I think Man United are the second strongest team. And obviously, Leipzig have a brilliant young manager, Julian Nagelsmann, and he'll relish playing against Manchester United. But look, they're not flying on all cylinders right now, and hopefully they can get a couple of players in. But if they get it all right, I mean, this was a huge moment for Marcus Rashford. The composure to take this penalty was...
controversial handball decision, shall we say.
We've seen a few of those, haven't we? But big moment for Ole. And look, you're right, they're great memories from that game. And it's a big season for Man United and for Ole Gunnar. So I think they can go into this. It's not ideal, the group that they got, but hopefully they can go into it, get a couple of players in, like Maka said, and finish, if not first, finish second.
Do you think looking at that group now could incentivise them to really try to get busy in what's left of the transfer window?
I think they've been trying, Lindsay. There's no doubt about it. And I think Ole would hope that they get over the line with a couple of signings. They've got, it's difficult when you're going for your top option and you can't get that deal done with Sancho. Then the other options, suddenly, it's you've got to work very quickly. And if it all falls into place, that'd be great for them. I still think they're capable of getting through this group. I really do. We haven't seen the best of United yet. Back end of last season, they were playing exceedingly well. Thought they had the balance in midfield working exceedingly well. They've got to get back to that, and they're capable of doing that. If they do that, they'll qualify.
Is there not much pressure on them, do you think, in the Champions League this season? Not too much as expected?
No, I mean, normally there's always pressure on Manchester United, of course. But this year, I think it is a little bit like Chelsea in a way, a work in progress. They can't expect too much. I think if they qualify out of this group, see where they go. Whether they can win it, I don't think they can. But yes, it's the pressure will be off them a little bit.
And Liverpool, Steve, in Group D, they've got Ajax, they've got Atalanta and Midtjylland. Looks fun, doesn't it?
It does, actually. It looks a really good group. Of course, Liverpool are favourites to go through, but to play Ajax, to play the free-flowing Atalanta, who've already started Serie A really well and scored lots of goals, we know them, and go to Midtjylland, I think it's an excellent draw for Liverpool. You can't complain, but I mean... I'd sit here and Liverpool could face anybody, to be honest, and you'd be very comfortable that they would go through to the next round. But you're right. I think the great opposition who like to play football and the really good games to watch.
They really are. Atalanta, not to be underestimated as well. They've had 2 wins, 8 goals scored in their 2 Serie A games. They usually are in high-scoring games, aren't they? Should be goals galore, that one.
Yeah, Macca's right. Atalanta are brilliant to watch. I mean, I'm sure most people have seen them play, but they love to attack. They score a ton of goals in the last 2 or 3 years in Serie A. Have been the highest score, even ahead of Juventus. So that will be a fabulous game. And Ajax, they always love to play football as well. So Liverpool, I think that obviously they'll dominate that group. Yeah. But there'll be great games to watch.
With the signings that Klopp's brought in with Thiago, with Jota, giving them a bit more depth, how much do you think that's going to help them as they pursue perhaps a double or treble this season?
I think they've improved the squad no end. I really do. I think Jota came out of the blue, but it's a very shrewd buy. And Thiago, well, he keeps the ball for fun. And in that Liverpool side, I think they've gone up a couple of more gears. That's why I think they're my favourites to win the Champions League this year, and possibly the Premier League as well. It's a big ask, but that would be an unbelievable task and an achievement if they can do that. I just think Liverpool are, at the moment, the best team in Europe in the sense of the balance between the way they defend and the way they attack. It's not just all about attacking Liverpool. They're solid defenders. And, I even see Fabinho going the back four the other day. He was outstanding. So they've got options all round the pitch and players that haven't really... People like Oxlade-Chamberlain, they've got a depth now. He's a great player and he hasn't had a chance. He's been injured. They've really got a squad there that can go and do, I think, the Premier League and the Champions League.
Yeah, they've got a great chance at Liverpool. It's a good draw for them. A frustrating one, though, for Manchester United. After the break, Glenn, let's talk Chelsea's group then. They are in Group E, Sevilla, Krasnodar from Russia and also Rennes from Ligue 1. What do you think Frank's going to make of that?
I think they'll be delighted. There's a tougher group out there they could have found, but I think going into those, I think Sevilla obviously is a tough game, always is. Krasnodar, it depends on, obviously winter going there. That might be a little bit trickier, but in the sense that, the timing of going there, playing there, it's not easy travelling as well. But I don't think there's anything there to front. Rennes are quite a defensive-minded side. That might be a little bit more stubborn than people think, but I can only see Chelsea qualifying from that group. I really can.
And they should have watched Rennes quite a lot as well because they've just signed their goalkeeper.
Fabulous young player, Camavinga, who's only 17. I mean, I know they've got a great young team, Chelsea, and signing some top players, but this kid is really special. So I think for English fans to see him in central midfield, he's going to be one of the best players in the world.
He's highly thought of, isn't he?
Yeah.
Wanted by Madrid and everything. They think they'll get him next year, give him another year, but... A really exciting team and Rennes to watch and to study, and it'll be interesting. I agree with everybody, of course. Sevilla and Chelsea should go through, but it'll be really interesting games for them all.
Yeah, absolutely. And Steve, Manchester City, Porto, Olympiacos and Marseille couldn't have really gone any better for them. I'm sure they're quite aware how they play. How tough a game will Sevilla be for them, Owen? We just watched them give Bayern a real tough match in the Super Cup not too long ago. Yeah,
they're a great team, Sevilla. I think Maka obviously knows from playing in Spain. They deserve the utmost respect. I think the recruitment, the coach, I think they get the best out of all the players that they have, the amount of turnover that they have. Lopetegui did amazing. Monchi, the sporting director there, really, every time they're selling players and bringing new ones in. So really good team. Obviously Chelsea and Sevilla will be the favourites in there, but Rennes have a fab.
Again, you fully expect Manchester City, like I mentioned with Liverpool, whoever they draw, you'd expect them to go through. They're very strong. They'll learn from what they did last year, of course, the disappointment. Pep will want to win it. We all know every single year when we sit at the stage, we say about Pep wanting to win. But yeah, Porto, Olympiacos, Marseille, shouldn't be any problems. They should be far too strong for everybody involved.
Olympiacos did cause a few problems for Arsenal in the Europa League last season, but still, Glenn, they're all teams that Manchester City should be beating comfortably.
Without any shadow of a doubt, they'll be the favourites, and I think they'll go through. But the only good fortune is that the crowd scenarios. Your Marseille and Olympiacos is a different kettle of fish when you've got 60,000 in the. That would be the only thing, but that's not going to be there. So City will get through this group, won't they? But they've got to go and do the business. That's about the Champions League. At any level, you've got to play. You can't take your foot off the pedal. You can come unstuck. So that's why there's always an edge to Champions League, and that's why it's so exciting.